I started playing football at the age of 4, I think it was, and one of my first clubs was Spartans. I think I joined there when I was about 4 years old, quite soon after I just started. And kind of never looked back ever since I started playing football. It was always the thing I wanted to do. I got my first kind of taste of real football when I got a trial for Celtic at about age 6. And I hadn't really set in to start with about kind of what the demands were and how big the club was, and I think I kind of got a bit of a shock, and that led me to being released 6 months later. But I think that was probably best for me, because I think at that age I was quite quiet and dead, like unsure about things, dead quite shy and stuff like that. So I think having that bit of adversity kind of showed me that there was a lot more to it, and it wasn't just as easy as I thought it was going to be. And I wouldn't change that for the world, because a few months after getting released, I got the chance to come to my boyhood club Hearts, and ever since that day I came in and stepped through that door at the Orium, I've not really looked back, and I've been there ever since. And then it came to when I was S4, S5, when I was getting chances with 16s, going in between the 18s, and then it was coming up to contract talks for my first professional contract, and I was lucky enough to be offered my first contract when I was 16. And the past 2 years since I've signed my first professional contract haven't been easy at all. It's been quite challenging. In fact, the differences from youth football to going into that kind of men's-like environment have been quite drastic, but again, I wouldn't change it for the world, because it's probably shaped me as a player and person. And also there's been really positive things, like getting selected for Scotland squads and things like that, going all around the world with Scotland and playing games and facing all these different cultures, opponents and things like that, learning so many different things. When you're playing well and things are going well for you, and you're maybe getting opportunities at older ages, positive things come around, like agents are interested in representing you and stuff like that, and that's when things kind of change for me as well. I think it was last summer, I signed my first kind of agent contract with Consilium, and they've been nothing but good to me ever since. Showed real support. Everyone at the place has been really warm and made me feel dead comfortable with everything. Looking forward to the future, I think I've got a lot of things that I want to achieve and want to kind of accomplish, but I think the main one is getting in and about the first team and trying to make my debut for the first team, because I've supported this club since I was 4 years old, and I've been here most Saturdays watching the team, and I think it's just such a surreal feeling being around them constantly and getting the experience of watching them train, sometimes joining in their training and being involved in bounce games and things like that. Yeah, I think that's kind of my main goal, is to make my debut for the first team and hopefully establish myself as a first team player here, because it's all I've ever dreamt of, really. So yeah, I used to come to the games with my dad all the time, and he's always been one of my biggest supporters, especially in all my games, training and things like that. And even when I got released from Celtic, he was probably the biggest help during that time. Made me feel comfortable and made me kind of aware that that was the sort of things that were happening, especially with the trade that I'm going into. Here's hoping everything goes to plan, that dream can come true, and I can also fulfil another dream by playing for my national team, Scotland. And I'd love to establish myself as a player in both at Hearts and at national level at Scotland.